Hi friends, we know that a lot of you are watching these videos because you read the Links Daily Devotional. We're glad that you're committed to that and that it is something that is a valuable part of your spiritual investigation and perhaps spiritual growth. And videos like this one, we hope are in addition to that. I am with Jeff Cranford, and we have been talking for some time now about what it really means to be a Christian, who really is a Christian. And we've explored that question fairly far down the line, Jeff. We haven't really looked so much at maybe who isn't, or someone who probably needs to be concerned about whether their faith is right. And as we go back to our picture of hot and cold, and the passage in Revelation to the Laodiceans where we see concern from God that you not be lukewarm, or what you and I have talked about, I know in separate Bible studies that we lead and together, nominal in our faith. We don't want to be nominal Christians. What is a nominal Christian, and why is that concerning?
Well, first of all, a nominal Christian, I think, is the greatest threat to the kingdom of God that there is. And the reason for that is that people will look to, and I see it all the time, if you're out on the mission field, so to speak, if you've set your heart to serve God in an evangelistic capacity or sharing the cross, you deal with church history. And in church history, what we find is we had many people that claimed to be Christians and slaughtered other people in the name of Christ. Is that a true follower of Jesus who laid down his life and said, pray for those who persecute you and love your enemy? And I mean, where are those two things? Those are a million miles apart. And yet many people have, and they create this straw man of the nominal Christian because that's what they see, or they created an argument against exploring who Jesus is. I don't want to be like those hypocrites. So a nominal Christian not only is in I have great concern for their own individual life, the peace that they enjoy, the life of Jesus in them, but I also have a concern for the residual effect that they have in the atmosphere of their life and what they're conveying about Jesus as they claim Christianity but live something very different from the life of Jesus. We all have that concern. None of us are Jesus perfectly, but are we moving in that direction? Are we moving in the direction of Jesus? So a nominal Christian is one who is not intentionally set on following Jesus, though they are totally willing to be part of the structure of what may be called Christendom. And so nominal Christians are not only a threat to themselves, they also become, and Jesus talked about this, a big concern that it's better, if you don't make one of these little ones stumble, it's better that a millstone be hung around your neck and you be cast into the sea. It's better that happen than you cause one of these to stumble. How do we cause little ones to stumble? Well, oftentimes because we claim to be Christians and live something very different from the life of Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. That is a gripping, almost convicting thing.
Yes.
I hesitate to use that word, as some of you have heard from me before on that matter, but it is the kind of thing that pulls us up short and says, wait a minute, am I doing what I need to be doing in following Christ? And I say that not obviously in a methodical doing sort of way, but just in terms of, am I truly desiring Christ and desiring the life of Christ in me?
And Jeff, there's a recognition once you become public. And I think that's one of the reasons Jesus says, if you don't confess me before men, I will not confess you before my Father who's in heaven. The reason, why does Jesus want to go public? I hear, go public with our faith. I hear all the time, my faith's very private to me. That is not a Jesus follower. A Jesus follower is public. And the reason that we become public is that we would then become on display as lights. So everywhere I go, I meet people all the time. They may not ever know that I'm a believer, but maybe they will find out that I'm a believer. People that I'm with at the grocery store, someone that at the dry cleaners, a neighbor. They may not know that I'm a believer now, but I'm already public, and if they find out later that I'm public, and I don't recognize that it's everybody that I'm conveying to Jesus to, I become a stumbling block, and it's a horrible thought. There have been times when I know I've been a stumbling block, and I've been very intentional about going to people and say, I've done this many times. I claim to be a believer, and the way I acted on the golf course the other day was not in alignment with Jesus. Can you forgive me? Because I claim to be a follower of Jesus and I want to be like him, but I'm struggling to be there. And so those are radically important things when you recognize I'm no longer a nominal. I'm a hot follower. I'll make mistakes, and I'll clarify them, and I'll ask for forgiveness, and I'll do whatever I need to do. But I will follow Jesus. I will follow Jesus. I refuse to be lukewarm.
Thanks for being personal with us.
Yeah,
there.
True.
And thank you too. When we come back next time, we're going to wrap up this series on what it means to really be a Christian.
And I might turn around and ask him a question or two.